Welcome back to the Oddcast. I'm Alex.
And I'm Ricky.
And I am Paul.
And we're just three odd dudes who decided to start a podcast.
Yes, we did.
And today we get to talk about Paul's engagement.
Woo!
To the aforementioned in other podcasts, Emily.
That's right.
Soon to be third odd wife.
Yes.
Yeah. That's right.
And the T Swift 1%er.
Fanatic.
Yeah. The
Aficionado.
The one that officially ranked our lists
Yeah.
and said I was better at ranking Taylor Swift than you.
That's true. She
Yeah.
did say that, and I have no ethos otherwise to say she's wrong. So
Neither do
it's
I.
fine.
And she's also one that definitively said that she thinks Paul is better than both of us.
Yeah, that's
She's
true.
going to marry him.
That's
right.
true.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's fair. I mean, he's got the best beard.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
And some of us can grow a
arguably
mustache.
the longest hair.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. My hair can get real long.
Not right now, though.
It's not long right
If
now.
you can grow it longer than his right now, I'll give you $10.
The problem if I try and grow my hair long is it won't look as long as his, but then you'll like
It'll
pull
be
it.
like afro.
It goes
Yeah,
like an
yeah,
afro,
yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
actually like, because it starts to get like
That
all
would be awesome,
wavy,
man.
and then you pull it and you realize how long it really is, and you're like, oh my gosh, that hair is
Yeah.
ridiculous.
You should do that. I think you should do it. It would look great with those headphones.
Should have done it over winter.
Yeah.
Next winter.
Next winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we're on episode 152.
You're going to have long hair?
Yep, I'll do it.
That'll be the title.
Yep.
How's Ricky's long hair?
So we are also going to have a special guest other than Paul.
Yeah.
Emily's going to call into the podcast today, so
That's right.
excited about that. We're
taking phone calls now. We're like a radio show.
Yeah.
She'll be the first one.
We are.
She's going to call in.
We're not totally sure how it's going to sound and how it's going to go, but you know,
That'll be fine. We'll figure it out.
We're going to roll with it.
Also, Emily has never talked to any of us while we're in show
Ever.
mode.
Ever.
Ever.
We've never talked.
Specifically show mode.
Even
Actually,
Paul.
I just text her. You know, I never talk.
That's how we got. Hey, you want to get married?
Get online.
Ring emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it happened, actually. I don't even have to tell the story. That was it.
We'll see you next time, guys.
And so that was it. That was the whole episode. We're just gonna move on.
Cool.
All right, you ready? You ready to tell your side? And then we're gonna call Emily and see if
If it matches.
her version matches what your version matches.
Yeah.
Because we both told our version of our stories and realized that for both of us, what we experienced and thought was definitely, and how we thought it was going to go, was not
Not how it went.
not how it
Not
went,
even
and
close.
also not what our wives
Something
necessarily
always
experienced.
goes a little bit wrong.
Yeah. So you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's get to the Oddcast. All right, Paul.
Yeah.
So we knew what was happening.
Yeah.
So this will also be fun because we can you knew less than I knew.
Yeah, that's true.
Because
yeah,
I was
so
there.
maybe I'll tell my part of the story.
So we can talk about our experience because I'll just say I was freaking out the entire time I was there because I was just like, there was text messages and group chats happening.
Man, there's so many.
And I'm like, I just stopped responding to everyone in group
Because you're
chats.
scared you're going to send to the wrong group chat.
Exactly, and I was scared I was going to say like, hey man, you excited to propose? And then, I knew, like, I'm not going to tell the story, but I knew certain like events were taking place
Right.
beforehand, like the lead up, and I wanted to text you, like, be like, hey man, I'm thinking like praying for you, whatever.
Yeah.
But then I was like, where's Emily?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, is she near him? And one of the times, I was so paranoid the last week. I kid you not. She was at my house, and I still would not text you because I was like, it's too much of a risk.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I could
It is.
see her sitting at my kitchen table, and I was like, what if they've linked their phones on accident? What if she accidentally gets Paul's text? I just stopped texting you. That's why I was like, I'm just going to ghost Paul for the next week.
Yeah, you have to.
Because I do not want to be that
only
person.
option.
It was like all my friends, though. It was the loneliest week of my life because nobody would text me.
Or like-
And you can't call either because you can't be like, are you alone?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then you're like, no. Okay.
Yeah,
Blink twice if you're
Yeah,
alone.
we should have made like code names for stuff as well.
But what if you answered while it's on the car phone or on speaker?
Exactly. That's why I didn't call you. Because I knew one of the days you guys were going out, and I was like, what's happening right now?
Yeah.
Like, has he dropped her off yet? What if they decided to stay late? What if dinner took too long? It's too much.
Yeah.
Too much pressure.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to be a part of someone else's engagement. It's too much.
Never again. Never
I
again.
feel like I'm going to crack
Yeah.
the whole time.
Listen, you guys are great. Everything worked out perfectly.
All right, well, why don't you start with the story, however you want.
Yeah, so...
Also, did you break your glasses?
Yeah, somebody sat on them and
was it you?
them. It wasn't me.
Oh.
No.
Okay, go ahead with your story.
Yeah, it was somebody from work. But, so I guess I'll start with us going to go ring shopping. Emily and I going ring shopping. Because, she wanted to be a part of choosing the ring, and I was completely okay with that because I wanted her to find something that she really liked.
Yeah.
So we
Classy move.
We went to Shane Co.
On Scottsdale Road in Tacoma.
That's right.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor yet.
Man, that would be cool.
That would be nice.
Yeah. That's like an Arizona dream.
Free rings for life. We're going to be a part of everybody's engagement.
No, too much pressure. Never mind. I'm out. I don't want it. I don't want any of it.
But yeah, we went to Shanko, and we, it's weird. I don't know if you guys found this, but like when you're in there, time goes by way faster. Like we were in there for 3 hours, and it felt like 30 minutes.
You were in there for 3 hours?
Okay.
Yeah.
I 100% understand this because me and Tony didn't decide. We weren't like, hey, let's go, pick out the ring together. Mm-hmm. She was like, I just kind of want to show you what I like. We went into Shanko. 3 hours later, we walked out knowing exactly what ring I was going to get for her.
Yeah.
And it was dark outside. And I was like, what happened?
Yeah, we walked in there, and we were looking at rings.
Yep.
They just kept bringing us different styles of rings. And like, do you know what kind of diamond you want? Here's a couple of sizes, just so that you can see it with the diamond on there. And, I mean, they did a great job.
Oh, no. Oh, they're incredible salesmen.
I have no idea what y'all were talking about. Because Erica went in there, and she already knew.
Oh.
Homegirl was like, yeah, I'll look at a couple. And then she had 3 already picked out. And the 3 that she had picked out were the 3 final ones that were on the board.
Good for her.
And I was like, and I mean, we were still there for like an hour because, you start looking at other diamonds and stuff like that to fit. It was probably an hour, maybe 2. But man, 3 hours, whew, that's a long time. Yeah. Luckily, they're nice there. Yeah. They're not like pushy.
No, they really weren't. They were really nice. But yeah, we decided to go with the ring. We didn't get the diamond. We have a mutual friend that really enjoys jewelry, and she wanted to help me find like a cheaper diamond.
That totally sounds sketchy. I'm just gonna say the way you said that sounds like we have a friend that can get us a diamond. They sell diamonds out of the trunk of their car. They also sell watches out of an oversized coat.
Well,
I would buy a watch. Like that.
It worked.
That's probably a one-of-a-kind one. They probably made that.
Listen,
it's handmade.
I would buy a handmade watch.
I don't talk about my sources, so we're just move on.
It was not sketchy. It was not sketchy.
No, she just pulls out like a wad of diamonds out of her pocket, like pick which one you want.
Choose your diamond.
You have to be blindfolded.
$18. It's a claw machine game.
$18. I wish.
It's real. Half of them are aquarium rocks.
It's a real diamond, we swear.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful diamond.
It's
nice.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Unique shape.
It is. It's very nice. She has a very unique
sense of style.
Yeah. I like it. It's good.
Hang on, y'all. Before you keep going, our volume just went done spiked. So, all right.
Done spiked? Oh, I apologize to everybody's ears.
No, it was something happened over here. There, the volume just slid up. So
nobody's probably even going to hear the spike because Ricky will go back and edit it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I just wanted to wait so you didn't say anything good while we were fixing. All right, keep going.
So we bought the ring that day, and then on our way out, I had told her like, all right, from now on, we're not going to talk about the engagement at all.
Smart.
Nice.
Not even a little bit. I'm not going to give you any information. From now on, it's like it doesn't exist.
So you did some prep work. That was good. You laid the foundation.
Yeah.
I respect that.
It didn't work, though, because it just made her want to ask more questions.
Sure. Right,
okay, so it didn't work. So never mind. I take it back.
No, I mean, I didn't talk about it. It worked in the sense that I had a backup to, like, not give any information.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Because you want to talk about it so bad.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's all you want to talk about.
So I just talked with you guys and everybody else.
Yeah. I know. You made us paranoid because we were like, stop telling us info because I don't want to crack.
Yeah. So
every time I'd see Emily, I'd be like, I know things.
How are your engagement? How's your day?
I'll get to that. I had a mini heart attack the week of the proposal, but I'll get to that.
Yeah.
But after that, I had started talking to our friend about the diamond and trying to find the right one. There was a lot of online jewelry sellers that have good diamond prices.
Right.
So she was helping me kind of find some diamonds that were in our price range, and she just came across this one that was 1 carat, and it was just gorgeous. And I was like, all right, I can keep looking, but chances are I'm going to stick with this one anyway, so I'll just get this one.
And it was $1 billion. Right?
It was $1 billion. Nice. That was my price range, yeah.
You went a little over because the band was...
Right, yeah.
It's $1,003,000.
Yeah. Yeah. So I
Big diamond.
Ordered that. And, when you order online, you expect the shipping to take a while and for it to like maybe be 2-3 weeks before you get a diamond in the mail. No, 2 days later it shows up at my door.
You gotta expedite that. You can't just be like, it's just going through the normal USPS postal system.
How do they ship a diamond?
An envelope.
Yeah, it was an envelope.
Wait, what?
But it was an envelope inside a manila envelope.
I thought the same thing.
It was a joke to me.
No, it was
in a Ziploc bag with a stamp on it.
It was in a box. It was very well shipped.
Okay.
It was in a box. It wasn't just in a...
Okay.
I was gonna say, now we're definitely in a sketch zone.
Yeah.
No.
It came in one of those, those little like 2 half balls that come out of the like a gumball machine and
the plastic one.
No. It was more like when you buy stuff online and you feel like the packaging was like half the price of the actual item.
Oh yeah.
That was the packaging for this.
Nice.
It was like overpackaged, but it was really nice packaging. I kept it because I'm gonna reuse it probably.
We're in the adult stage of life when we're complimenting how a thing is shipped to us.
That's true.
Very well packaged.
And I ain't even mad about it.
No.
I can appreciate a well-packaged package.
I wish it like came in a wooden box with your name already carved in.
That'd be cool.
Yeah,
Paul,
nice.
This is your diamond.
And the diamond inlaid into the wood.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That would be cool.
We should do that. We should start a business.
Diamond boxes. What are we gonna put in the box?
We're gonna use Paul's diamond source.
Okay. Oh my goodness.
The pocket diamond source.
And we don't talk about that.
Okay. All
right. So the diamond came in really quickly. Was not expecting it. And then now it was the waiting game to try and find a time to go back to Shanko to have them set the diamond without Emily knowing that I was going to Shanko to set the diamond. There was one day when she was busy and I had some free time and I was like, I'm going to run over there real quick. I'm just going to take care of this. And the one day that she is supposed to be busy...
She's not.
She decides to FaceTime me while I'm driving.
Yep. That's how it always happens. They just know.
They do, man. I was just like,
girls just know.
It's a radar or something.
I can't do this right now.
A radar.
I hung up on her, but
you hung up on her, or you just declined the call.
I declined the call.
You sent her a voicemail. It's different than hanging up.
He's like, hey, click. Got her. Just started a fight with her right there.
I was like, I can't keep a straight face while I do this right now. I'm freaking out already, so I'll deal with it afterward. So I bring it in, I give it to them, and I go along my way. And then she calls me on my way back too. It was great.
And you didn't answer. You did answer.
I did answer that time. Yeah, I did answer that time. And she's like, "Why are you driving right now?" I'm like, "I had things to do.
Yeah,
I had errands to run."
Which is not a lie.
It's not a lie.
It was an errand.
I did.
You gotta have more detail for them.
No, man.
That's what
what I did.
Yeah, you just gotta.
I was like, my wife, when I was going to Shanko and she called me, she was like, What are you doing right now? I was like, oh, I'm on lunch from work, which was true. But I was going to Shanko on lunch. Mm-hmm. And then she was like, oh, where are you going? And I was like, I think I'm going to get some hot dogs from QT. I didn't tell her where I was going. I was just like, I think I'm going to get some hot dogs there. And I did. I ended up getting some.
That's good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Should have thought about that.
QT food's good.
Honestly, yeah.
I had errands.
Yeah. That worked.
Running errands. It worked, though.
Yeah.
She had no clue.
No clue
whatsoever.
All right. Well, then what? I want to know. I want to know the juicy details. How did the plan start? Because we're already 15 minutes in, so I'll make sure we get it all.
Okay. That's when we had our double date.
Yes.
And we were planning a weekend trip. We were planning on going snowboarding.
Mm-hmm. And I said I didn't want to.
Yeah, you said you didn't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you were going snowboarding the weekend after.
And I was like, I just want to hang out with you.
You just want to hang out. And
worked out.
It actually worked out better because I was thinking about it. I'm like, I really don't want to propose to her after snowboarding all day.
Yeah, I'd be exhausted.
Because she hasn't gone snowboarding in a long time, so she's probably going to feel sore afterward, and I'm going to be exhausted. I don't know how that's going to work out.
Trying to get down on one knee, and you're like, oh, hang on.
Yeah,
my legs.
exactly. So it actually worked out better that way, that we just decided to have like a cool little Airbnb weekend trip. And that's when I had told you and Erica what my plan was, and then the plan started rolling.
And you told them, like, was she like in the bathroom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in the bathroom.
My man.
How do you stay normal after that?
Whoa, man, you just pull on all the cords.
Oh, sorry.
Chill out. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There was so much pressure involved in this. Okay? We're just having a nice hangout together.
Yeah.
Emily gets up. We're talking about planning this thing with Emily there because that was the plan. We were already going out of town this weekend.
Right.
So we're sitting talking about it, and I'm like, I'm starting to look at Airbnbs because I love Airbnb, and I'm starting looking at like super expensive ones because that's naturally what I do. I'm like, Paul, look at this $2,000 a night one. How cool is this? And Paul's like, whatever, I'll do whatever I want. That was his attitude, which I knew he didn't really want to, but that's what he said. Then Emily just was like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She gets up, she just walks away, and Paul's like, oh, by the way, I'm proposing that weekend. And Erica and I are like, oh my God. Like, you're so excited. And Emily comes back, and I'm just like, I'm just going to keep looking at Airbnb.
I hate this food.
I'm like, I couldn't look her in the eye because I was just going to start, like, I was going to blush and cheeks were going to go. So I was just like, I'm just going to keep looking at Airbnbs for the weekend.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. And then...
Too much pressure.
So she had no clue going up to that. And then it was like a couple of months beforehand, right? That we were planning it.
It was only like a month.
A month?
Yeah, it wasn't even. It was right before Christmas, I think.
That entire time, because she knew that going into January that was kind of her free time. So she knew I was going to try and propose sometime around there. So she just kept bugging me all the time, like, so when are you proposing? When are you proposing? What's your plan? When are you proposing? I'm just like, I got like 12% of a plan right now. I'll get back to you later. Just kind of tried to shrug it off.
I got 12% of a plan.
Yeah.
The Airbnb, that's what it was.
Yeah. And then somewhere in that time...
You know as much as I do.
And a weekend, yeah.
Somewhere in that time, like, the ring had gotten done. I had gone and picked that up. And then... Actually, it was that Monday, the Monday before.
Yeah.
Because they were going to get it to me the Thursday before we left, and we were leaving on Friday.
I was like, real close.
Yeah, I don't want to play that. Can you guys do it anytime earlier? And they're like, yeah, we can do it Monday. I'm like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
that works. So they had it done by Monday, and then that Tuesday, our friend Katie. I'm not going to say last name, but our friend Katie had invited her to go get her nails done.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Emily was freaking out because she's like, oh, is it going to happen? It's going to happen soon.
And you didn't ask her, right?
No, I didn't. I didn't ask Katie at all. She just did it.
It was just a normal thing.
Yeah. It was like,
what a homie.
I know. She's great. But then she played it off like, oh, like, Emily, you had said, like, you wanted to get your nails done a couple times throughout the month so that you didn't, like, get too excited about things.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Katie...
Good sidestep.
Homegirl. She's... Real.
Did Katie know it was that weekend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she knew. She was helping me through the whole thing. So
nice.
So Emily's like, oh well, I guess maybe it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
And then she was talking to her mom about it, and her mom's like, well, he hasn't talked to me or your dad yet, so I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you that. But yeah, I don't know. And so she was just like. No plan. Or she didn't think anything was going to happen at all. So she was going into it like with no idea that it was going to happen.
I know. She was at our house that Wednesday, and she was big mad.
Oh, she was
talking with all the other girls.
Yeah, she was real mad.
She was big mad. And Erica came upstairs that night, like, because they're all over at her house on Wednesday, and they're all talking to Erica, and so she's like, she is mad.
Yeah.
And then Erica was like, and I just had to just be like, yeah, that's really rough.
Yeah.
He's like, try and play along. Yeah. Don't make a face. Don't make a face.
The reason why she's mad, I did not help at all, but the reason why she was mad is because we had gone to Chick-fil-A right before that for lunch.
Yeah.
Before the girls group.
Right.
And she was talking about, like, so are you planning for this anytime soon? Because this next month is, like, really busy for me, and I have, like, no time whatsoever. I'm like, just, like, send me your calendar, and I'll call and figure out a day. And she was just getting mad, or she was getting red just talking to me. I was just trying to push it off.
Dangerous game, man.
I know.
When the like push off almost results in like the biggest fight you've ever had.
Yeah. I was just trying to not say anything. I didn't want to lie to her, obviously, but I didn't want to like give anything away. So I was just like,
you're like, I have some errands.
Yeah.
This whole month.
I got errands. I'm just, like. I'm just trying to plan it, but, like, just send me your schedule and I'll figure something out. Do Thursdays work for you? And she was just getting madder and madder. And then she went to girls group and she just
He's like, can't do Saturday because, hang out with the boys.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah. Tuesdays
also the boys.
Podcast.
Yeah.
We got Mondays. We release a podcast. It's just a really busy time.
I just don't have time,
It's hard.
We'll figure it out. I got 12% of a plan, so I'll work with it. But no, like everything worked well all the entire time, and then Saturday came, and she had no clue. We had gone shopping, all of us, and she had no interest in that, if I'm being honest. We went for a walk. She doesn't like walks, so that was not fun for her. And when we got back, you guys had all set up a bunch of stuff for us.
Which was ridiculous, because everyone wanted to be out there to see it. Yeah, and I was like, y'all, get out of here! Like, we can't all be back on the back patio, or else it's weird because Emily is going to want to go where everyone else is. And also, everyone's just walking in and out of where Eric and I, it's our room at the Airbnb. And I'm like, this looks weird. Like, you guys have to understand, like, if you are all just hanging out in our bedroom at the Airbnb, it's a weird look.
Right.
Like,
why would we all be?
We can't all be back here. You're going to make it obvious.
Well, so that was my issue is Emily came downstairs and it was like, Israel and I and Lauren just like downstairs, we were like playing a card game or something like that. Yeah. Or we were talking about, I don't remember what we were doing, but Emily was like, where's Tony? We were going to watch Encanto. And I was like, I don't know, maybe she might have gone to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I supposed to say? Everybody's outside.
Yeah, no, but I mean, everybody played it off well. Everybody did a great job. I mean, the only thing I could say is like, I have great friends, and because without you guys, it would not have been as easy as it was.
Really do anything.
It was really simple, but I think we're ready to go to have Emily call in.
Well, before you gotta tell how it happened though. You gotta tell the last part.
Oh, you want me to tell the last part?
Yeah, you gotta tell the last part. So
we'll hear your side and then we'll hear.
Okay, so we were walking up to the house, the Airbnb that we were staying at, and I wanted to survey the area. I wanted to check out the house because I hadn't looked at the back yet, and so
that was great.
Yeah,
it was great because Emily was like, "You want to look at the set? All right, I'll walk back."
Yeah, and Ricky was coming with us because I wanted him to like record some of the stuff and like do all that, and she just like was not having any of it. She was like, "You're being stupid, dumb boys."
Yep.
Being dumb, and she walked around the corner, and I could tell like in her face she was like completely confused.
Yeah,
she had no clue what was going on. She saw all the stuff, and she told me later she'll probably say it as well, but she's like, she thought it was for somebody else. Like she was like, who left their stuff here?
It was for me. Paul was proposing to me.
Who left?
He's like, Emily, can you take our photo?
It was the first decoy of not getting engaged. Yeah. He was gonna fake propose to me.
So she was really confused, and I got a little too excited, a little too fast, and I just kind of I just went on my knee
because you had set up the like twinkly lights and it says "Marry Me" up on a porch,
on the porch,
patio.
And she didn't walk up to it, and I wasn't expecting her to not walk up to it. And she just kind of froze and stopped. So I was like, all right. So I just...
Yeah. And this is where I felt bad, because he's like, will you record? And I'm like trying to stay out of the way.
Right.
So they have their like moment. And then I assumed, because he had said, we'll walk up the porch.
Right.
And then I'll propose.
Yeah.
So I'm like waiting, right, for that moment.
Yeah.
Because I have his phone. I'm like trying to get like stay out of the way. And then like he just knelt. And I was like, oh no. And I'm like trying to hit record. So like I hit record really quick. But you were just like, will you marry me? And I missed that part of recording, so I felt super bad.
You know, I had planned everything up until that moment, and then the rest of it was like, I guess I'll just wing it.
Well, the best part, too, is, like, the walk was so slow. Like, we were just, like, it was cold out. It was, like, kind of... And, like, we got to that point, and, like, we were trying to make sure everyone went inside, and that you two went that way, and, like, I followed behind you.
Yeah.
So I'm, like, trying to catch up to you. But you were excited. So you were like full sprinting. It felt like, and I'm like trying to keep up, but like also trying to make it not obvious that I'm running.
Yeah.
To catch up with you. And I like get around the turn. I'm out of your way. And then you just knelt. And I was like, oh my gosh, if I turn the camera on right now, I'm just staring at his butt. And so I missed the question part, but we got all the reaction.
Yeah.
So that was good.
Well, okay, so what was funny is you guys went to the side of the house. Everybody else in the cabin knew what was happening.
Yeah.
But nobody else was recording. It was just Ricky recording. And so we were all like, we want to watch. And so everybody got inside the back door of the cabin.
Yeah.
Or I guess the front door of the cabin, really. And then like scrambled to take their winter boots off. Mm-hmm. And it was everybody just like hopping on one foot, trying to take their boots off so shakily as before they run back to the room so that they could peek out the window blinds to see what was going on. It was we looked like a bunch of like high school girls. Yeah. It was awesome.
Well, then I was concerned. You're like, we're gonna have this like perfect frame photo, and you guys are all gonna be like peeking through the blinds. I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna be such a mess. Trying to coordinate that many people in one thing is so difficult.
And all of us inside were like, like trying to get people not to make noise.
But I felt sweet and blessed to be able to be there when it happened. It was sweet.
Yeah,
it was cool.
Yeah, I'm glad we had our closest friends with us.
It was a good time.
That was the goal, and it all just worked out beautifully. And I couldn't have been more blessed to have you guys and to have her. You know, So it's been really nice. It's been really good.
That's awesome.
It was a great weekend.
It was a fun weekend. It was a great Airbnb.
It was a great Airbnb.
We also decided on that trip that we were going to buy one.
That one.
Not an Airbnb. That one. We just called them, hey, we want this.
We're going to permanently buy the Airbnb for every day.
Paul's getting married, so we only have $8. All right, well, let's take a quick break. We'll get everything set up, and we'll bring Emily on.
Yeah. All right, so after that quick break, we are back. We have Emily, Paul's fiance, and she's going to tell us her side of the story.
Yeah. Is it weird to say fiance?
You know, it was a little bit, but I think it was weirder for Emily than it was for me. I kind of just jumped on it immediately.
Is that true, Emily?
Well, you've been thinking about it forever.
Yeah.
It's been a little bit weird. The first time it felt very strange. I was like, wait a minute, I can say that. That's really weird. Huh, okay.
All right, well, why don't you just jump in and kind of tell us, like, in the lead up, we heard about, the little bit of frustration that Paul caused. What was that like on your end, with his 12% plan that he had?
So, to preface it to the audience members who maybe don't know me that super well, I have a really crazy, ridiculous schedule. And Paul should actually know this a little bit better now that he sees my Google Calendar. He sees all three of them now. So we went ring shopping once I was done with finals. So I knew that he had the ring. I just didn't know when he was going to actually buy the diamond, because we bought that separately. Mm-hmm. Well, he bought that separately. And when he was actually going to pull the trigger and propose. But I figured, I was like, he's going to do it over break because my schedule's a lot calmer. I took time off from school and work. So I was like, this is the most opportune time. And my January is just super insane with a work trip and everything else in between. So I made sure to like communicate that.
Which we've heard about.
Yeah. That's such a nice way to say it.
So we were supposed to, well, the initial plan was we were supposed to go snowboarding. And then I remember we were all at like a bar, Ricky, Erica, myself, and Paul, and I came back and all of a sudden the snowboarding trip had turned into just like a chill weekend up north. I was like, okay, I'm a little bit bummed because I have this whole thing about every time I plan to go snowboarding, I actually don't end up going snowboarding. It's been going on for like 4 years. But I was like, that's fine. A chill weekend sounds cool. That's good. So then we're rolling up on like literally the last week of my break. And I'm like, I don't know if he's actually going to do it. And I'm kind of like, I'm like a little bit antsy at this point. So then one of our mutual friends, though, she texts me and she's like, hey, let's go get our nails done on Wednesday. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is it. Finally. Like, he'll probably do it on Thursday because that's our date night, and I'm getting my nails done Wednesday. And if you know me, I like very rarely pay to get my nails done. It's not my thing.
It's expensive.
But it is expensive. It's like $45.
It's crazy.
So
We should go get our nails done.
Oh, no. I'm not spending $45 on that.
No.
Unless you're going to propose to me.
Never mind. Yeah.
Okay.
Different Airbnb.
Yeah.
So I was like talking to my mom in the kitchen, and this was Tuesday, and I was like, oh, well, you know, Katie asked me to get my nails done, so that means it's going to happen soon. Like, Paul's going to propose soon. And my mom, at this point, she's not lying. Like, I'll preface it with that. She just looks at me and she was like, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this. And I was like, what? And she was like, well, you see, Paul hasn't talked to, like, your dad or me or mentioned anything about it. And I was like, wait, what? Because if you know Paul doesn't even let me open up my own car door. So yeah. I was like, interesting. I was like, well, maybe he's not. And I was like, no. I still have hope. I'm getting my nails done. So Wednesday, I go and meet up with Katie, and we're talking and blah, blah, blah. And then she says something, and she was like, Emily, do you remember, like, a while back how you said you wanted to just sporadically start getting your nails done so that it wouldn't tip you off that Paul was going to propose? And I was like, oh, I guess I did say that. And she was like, yeah, so, like, just text me some other times that you're free to go get your nails done. And I was like, oh. So at this point, I'm like straight up disappointed.
Yeah, all of your expectations, everything that was like, hey, it's going to happen soon, just kind of plummeted.
Yeah. So flash forward that same day, Paul and I are at Chick-fil-A. And
Paul, to interrupt you, Paul just took the most anxious sip of his drink that he's ever taken in his life.
That was the first time that I actually thought I might die. From Emily
killing me. He's a black
me.
belt, okay? So
I will preface this with, I apologize several times about the way I was having this conversation. So we're sitting in this Chick-fil-A, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, look at how cute my nails are, or something like that.
Hint, hint.
Subtle, yeah, subtle.
Yeah, like, totally, like, trying. And at this point, I would say I'm, like, full-on harassing him about trying to figure out when he's going to propose. Because it worked really well for me when I got him to say I love you first, which is a whole different story.
Wait, you harassed him into saying I love you?
She kind of bullied me into it, yeah.
She's like, you say it. Oh, man.
But That's a different story. I'll blink twice in the camera if you want out of this relationship. But so I'm making like comments and I'm trying to like get him to like, you know, just like catch him off guard or something like that. And then he goes, well, they're super cute, but like you'll have to get them done like several more times. And I was like, what? And he was like, well, yeah, like, you know, like January, you've been saying January's just like a crazy month, and like I don't know if like it's actually gonna happen anytime soon. And I was like, wait a minute, what? With each what, I'm getting angrier in this Chick-fil-A. He goes, this was like the kicker. He was like, yeah, so I'm gonna need you to send screenshots of all of your weekends in January. And I was like, wait, what? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna need screenshots of like your Thursdays through Sundays so that I can like know what's going on.
I also asked for Friday too. We're on the February as well. Going into February.
Yeah. And then he was like, so I'm like, wait, so I'm not supposed to plan anything extra on my calendar for a whole month and a half. And he was like, well, no, like, you can, just like, you know, just ask me before you do. And I was like, wait, are you serious? And he was like, so I open up my calendar and I'm showing him and I'm like, dude, remember how I said like there's no free weekend in January, like that's why we can't go snowboarding. And he was like, well, I know like you want it to be a surprise, but like how does this like one specific date sound? And I was like, are you serious? And at this point, I'm just mad because I was like, I don't know what is in this man's head. And I'm like, so I think I asked a question like, it was like, it's not even passive aggressive because it was being openly aggressive. I was like, did you even hear anything I said about January being a crazy month for me? And
you said, I thought we communicated this very well.
So he's like sitting there and like he's playing, now that I like know, he's playing it off like so well. And then that's where the infamous 12% comes out.
12% of a plan?
Yeah, 12% of a plan. And in my mind, I'm like, oh my gosh, you cannot lose it right now in this Chick-fil-A. But I'm like full on like mad. And I'm like, are you serious? I was like, it's fine. It's whatever, I guess. I guess it won't be a surprise, but that's not on me.
Oh! The shade.
So, we're like, at this point, like, leaving the Chick-fil-A, I was like, I'll send you the screenshots of my calendar and, like, figure out how to add you to it. Like, whatever, I guess, you know, I'm going to spend $180 getting my nails done all these weekends. We're exiting the Chick-fil-A and, like, full on people are, like, staring at us listening to this conversation.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like that loud?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It was a scene.
There are people like, man, that guy should just propose. What an idiot.
We had made a scene.
Oh,
there were
that's
people
great.
turning their heads.
So we're exiting this Chick-fil-A, and I'm like trying now. I'm like, oh, that was pretty bad. Like, that was pretty embarrassing. So I apologized. I was like, look, you know, if it happens in February, it happens in February. I just thought that, you know, like this was gonna be like the best time, and I had just kind of made up in my mind that it was happening. I was like, I'm sorry. Said it a little bit more genuine than that, but yeah, so we talked about it. Then I go to a girls group and I'm telling them about, because I was like irritated still by that point.
All the anger came right back up.
They were like, why are you mad? And so so I tell them the story, and all of them are like, well, did you communicate to him that, like, you were ready? Like, are you sure that you told him that? Like, and I'm, like, sitting there, and I'm like, oh, my gosh. Paul, like, thinks that, like, my January wasn't that busy. Like, maybe I didn't communicate that I wanted to be engaged. And I'm like, wow, I must have the worst communication skills.
You're being gaslit.
I'm being gaslit into this.
We have good friends.
Going into Saturday with everything that happened, I literally remember I went to the bathroom, I think, in the Airbnb, and I gave myself, like, this, like, pep talk.
No!
I have zero expectations. Nothing will happen. You will have a smile the whole day.
Did you know about this, Paul?
I knew she was, like, she had talked to herself, but not in the Airbnb, in the bathroom.
I had, like, made it, like, so set. I was like, it's not happening. Like, do not hurt your feelings again. Because I was, like, so disappointed. And I was like, okay, yeah, game face. I'm not expecting
Happy times.
Like, nothing will happen. So, you know, Saturday comes and goes or whatever. And then we go on the walk. And I'm like, oh, you know, this is just, like, a fun little, like, brisk walk, whatever. And then Paul is like, we get to the cabin, everyone's going in, and Paul's like, hey, do you want to, like, go walk the perimeter with me? I kind of stopped, and I was like, in my mind, I was like, what kind of dumb thing? Walk the perimeter? What?
He was doing a security check.
And then that's the exact thought that I had. I was like, he's probably just like, wanting to show me, like, oh, this is how you secure the perimeter. How you know, like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, and it makes sense. Like, Ricky's there, too, so they're probably going to be like, Emily, this is why you shouldn't get these kinds of shutters. Blah, blah, blah. But
that makes
Why
it
you
sound...
shouldn't get these kind of shutters?
In my mind, that makes it sound awesome, Paul.
so it was like, I, like, kind of stood there, and Paul kind of, like beckoned me to come with him, and I was like, okay, remember, Emily? I was like, be a good sport. Be a good sport. Don't ruin the trip by, like, getting into this, like, whole, no, I'm not going to walk the perimeter with you. Like, I'm cold. So, we're walking, and I don't think I had fully, like, rounded the corner yet when I saw the stuff. And I'm not going to lie, I had made it up so much in my mind that it wasn't happening that my first thought was like, wow, this is a really cruel joke.
Oh!
Like, I think I kind of just stood there, and I don't know if I audibly said, is this for me? Or, like, I think I was just saying, like, what?
Yeah.
A whole lot.
You did audibly say, is this for me?
Okay. Because, like, in my mind, I was like, wow, there's probably some other couple right now that's like, they set this up and we're just ruining this for them. And as that's, like, going through in my mind, I, like, look down and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, Paul's on one knee. I was like, oh, this is for me. And I'm gonna be honest, I blacked out. He said. I just was like, I had made it so much up in my mind that it wasn't happening, that, like, when it was happening, I was like, wait, what? Like, this is, like, a trip. Like, I'm so confused. Like, what the heck? And, like, when did he set this up? How did this happen? Like, my mind was, like, trying to go through all of that. So I remember saying yes, but Paulio, I'm so sorry. I don't remember anything that you said.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. It's all recorded.
Yeah.
Ricky did a great job recording it.
The after part is recorded. Because I will tell you, the plan was, we had discussed, the plan was for you to see it, obviously, somewhat freak out, and then he was going to grab your hand, walk you up to right in front of the sign, and he was gonna like, you know, do his little spiel and ask you to marry him. And so that's why I was, like, trying to, you know, stay behind you but near you guys. and I could tell you were mad, and you were kind of walking slower than Paul was, and it was this awkward moment, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna like wait till they get there so she sees it, and then like get around them and try and start recording. And then you were like, is this for me? And then Paul just like went right to a knee right on the ground, and I was like, oh no, like I'm gonna miss the moment. And so then I was like trying to get out of the way because I didn't want to be standing right in between you two as you were getting engaged. But it was totally funny because both of you, like, you could tell it was like shock for everyone. And then like was like, all right. And I just walked away so that you guys could have your moment or whatever. But it was funny. You guys, like, you could just tell it was shock, and then it was just so much joy, which was cool.
Oh yeah, I think like once like the shock like settled down, and I think like once it was actually like clicking in my mind of like, oh yeah, that this is for me, and then I was like, oh he's on the ground, oh he's on the ground. Like, I think then I was just like, oh yay, and I think that's when I started to cry, or if I'd already been
everybody
crying.
cries. Yeah.
Yeah, but like tears of happiness instead of frustration. So yeah, but and then the only other like distinct like thing was that he was shaking so badly.
I was.
And my thought was like, oh my gosh, like, is he okay? Like, like just immediate, like, okay, how can I like calm him down somewhat? Because he's like a leaf about to be like taken off a plant or something.
He was in shock.
Yeah, no, I was shaking bad.
Yo, you were shaking on the entire walk beforehand too.
Yeah, you were so jittery.
And you did not seem normal.
Well, I forgot to put on a second jacket, so I was cold to begin with, and then just the adrenaline was just pumping the entire time we were walking.
Emily, did you find it weird that he walked the whole walk with his hands in his pocket?
No. Okay, so I will say this. I'm not like the most observant person. So, like, in some ways I am, some ways I'm not. But, like, nothing was screaming, like, alarm bells for me. So, I just thought he was cold, honestly.
It was so funny for me, like, looking around during that walk and Emily seeing your face, because it seemed so normal. Mm-hmm. But then seeing everybody else whenever you were not in sight, they were all like, oh my gosh. Like, it's all the girls in the back talking about it. Oh, it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a good time. But it was, we told Paul, Alex and I were telling Paul that it was just like so much paranoia that we were accidentally going to spill the beans the entire time. Because like that night we were all hanging out on the double date was when Paul told Erica and I that that he was going to propose. And it was after I had already said that we should just go on a trip instead of snowboarding because I didn't really want to snowboard. And so then he just dropped that on us while you were in the bathroom. And then Erica and I were just like, we were so awkwardly uncomfortable because we were like so excited, but also didn't know how to interact with you after that moment without accidentally saying something. So it was just like, okay, I'm just going to avoid Paul and Emily for the next month while we wait for this moment.
Well, I just think it's so impressive that everyone kept it a secret. And, like, it was, I think if the week hadn't gone how it went, I think I would have figured out that it was happening on the trip. Mm-hmm. But, you know, between my mom, like, genuinely not lying, because I know when she's lying and she was telling the truth, and then the whole conversation with Katie, and then he's saying that he had only 12% of the plan, and the girl like reaffirming it to where like it was so much so I was like, it literally is not happening. You need to just get over it.
Yeah, I love the picture of you in the mirror going, "It's not happening, Emily." Like, just put on a smile. We're gonna have a good weekend.
Get through the weekend.
She's like, you go antique shopping with your friends and you enjoy it.
Yeah.
Oh, I did want to clarify because I don't remember if I said it or not. After I had dropped Emily off at the at her girls group that Wednesday, and then once I was done dropping her off, I went directly to her parents' house and talked to her parents.
Oh, yeah.
So it was like I knew exactly where Emily was. I knew how long she needed to be there because I needed to go pick her up.
Right.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, this is perfect timing. I went and talked to them, and yeah, they were so excited.
None the wiser.
And then they played it off well too. But the one thing that I wanted to say was as we were leaving to go to your house, to go to the Airbnb, her dad was talking to us, and Emily, do you remember what he said?
He said something about, like, he was talking about his trip to Germany, and he was like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of engagements happening. And he kind of paused too long.
And my heart stopped. I thought everything was ruined, my life was over.
Well, clearly.
And I just kind of was like, that's weird. But again, I would I was so determined that like it wasn't happening, and I was like, you literally cannot hurt your feelings again. So
that's awesome.
So I don't know, it was so funny, but it was fun. It was super sweet. I just was really taken aback because I was like, wait a minute, when did all of this happen? Like, how did you do this? I think I said that like a million times.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just was like super shocked because I was like, oh my gosh, okay, he got me really good because I really did not think it was happening.
Man, well, I mean that's cool that you were able to pull it off, but it's also like we've talked before on this podcast. It's so funny when you do the engagements and stuff and things go wrong and people get mad and you're just like, I just want this to be a good moment and everybody's upset right now and you just panic and all sorts of emotions. But
because as a dude, there's nothing you can do.
No,
you're not like, well, it's happening, so what?
I can't say anything.
You can't say You're just like, well, you're just upset.
So it was a balance of not lying, but also like trying to deceive as much as possible.
I mean, I did not make it easy for Paul. I think any time I could like harass him about it, I did. And if that wasn't happening, then I was like, then I'm just gonna roast him until he does it.
And she did too. That last week was a lot of roasting.
Well, you're better for it.
Yeah.
You're better for it.
Yeah. I just had to take it.
Yeah. Well, I know, we're super happy for you guys and excited for just the future that you guys are gonna have together. It's really fun to
and for dancing at your wedding.
At your wedding, and you'll be officially the third odd wife. So.
Woo! I'm so excited. I don't know what I'm more excited about, being an odd wife or being Mrs. Green.
Well, I will say you're, out of all the two other odd wives you're the only one that's ever actually voice has been on this.
That's so true.
I don't know how that worked. Paul got that one approved by us somehow.
Because I'm the captain.
Yeah, that's because he's the captain.
That's right.
All right. Go ahead.
One of the most loyal odd wife listeners or future odd wife listeners.
It's true. Yeah.
You guys did make it on my Spotify top 5 podcast.
Woo! Yes! Nailed it. Well, we're just about out of time, but we appreciate you coming on, Emily. Paul, you want to say anything sweet to Emily before we let her go and close this out?
I love you, and I'm so grateful that everything happened the way that it did, because I wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
Aww. I love you too. That's much better than the pickup line you said on this podcast.
Wait, what was the pickup line he said?
You make me want to throw up.
I did want to throw up, though. That whole weekend.
Yeah.
This is why she harassed you.
We do some dumb stuff on this podcast. But
oh, man. Those wings sucked.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to hang up now. I love you. Thank you.
Okay. I love you, Polio.
Bye.
Bye, Emily.
Bye.
Well, Paul, thanks for being here.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always here, but thanks for being here at the
of
table
course.
with us and
Visible.
sharing your story. And, I know we're super excited for y'all.
Yeah.
And just super excited for you as our friend. And I think that it's only proper that Paul gets to be the one to give the wisdom this week.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Soon he's going to be a husband.
Yeah.
He needs to have the wisdom.
Yeah. All right, so words of wisdom. If you are planning on proposing to a woman, then make sure that you have good friends that know how to not lie, but deceive. And
you have deceptive friends.
Deceptive friends.
Friends that know not to text into a group chat.
Yes, yes. Cover your bases and make sure everything works the way that you want it to work.
Or not.
Or not.
It never does. It never does.
Never have a plan B, only a plan A,
Yeah.
and only have 12% of a plan, and it'll work out perfectly.
Like 12%. That's it. That's perfect. Well, Alex, did you want to add anything?
No, it's his week. Also, my headphones are doing the thing where they like play your voice a second after.
Yeah.
And I can't. I feel like I can't speak.
It's fine. Let's not tell them that. They don't know.
That's too late. They already know.
Dang it. You're right. All right, Paul. You got anything else you want to add?
I love you guys. That's it. I love you.
That's officially heard it here from the captain. Thanks for all that you guys do as our supporters and listeners. We appreciate it. And as always, remember, stay odd.